Welcome to Ship It and Sip It, episode 3. I'm here with Nikita Solosniuk. Nice to have you on the show. This week, Nikita chose the drinks and he decided to go with non-alcoholic beer. So I'm having the new Baltica non-alcoholic beer with lime and vitamin C, B, and E. We're being very healthy. And Nikita's having the Klostaler from Germany. Ship It and Sip It is all about news from Paralect, news from our lives, and news from the wider world of tech. From Paralect this week, I can say that we've announced a new partnership with a really cool company in the United States. The company is called Fluent, and the product is called a Fluency Score. And it's something like a credit score for startups. So the startups have to go onto the website, and they have a very long questionnaire to fill out. They answer something like 200 questions, and they get a score that assesses the risk facing that startup and how they are mitigating that risk. So a lot of different people can use it. Should be interesting. We're going to help them to turn it into more of a SaaS product. In other news, Winter is 1 year old last week. The founder, Pep Laya, posted a really interesting 1 year retrospective on their blog. I suggest you read it. The company has had a very interesting first year. Pep is a very build in public guy, and a lot of founders could learn something really interesting from that. But the reason I'm happy to have Nikita here is we've just launched the 6th year of Startup Summer, which is a program that we have. Why don't you tell us, what is Startup Summer all about? What is the main goal of Startup Summer at Paralect?
Yeah, I really can say a lot about Startup Summer because I also take part in it, and that's how I came to Paralect. I really like it. I really like the idea, and I think it's just a unique case. You don't have anything like that in other companies. The first reason is free. The second reason, you work with people who already work in Paralect, and these mentors, these people are really happy to help you, and it's not like they spend 1 hour a day to help you, they spend a whole day to help you, and you really can learn from the experience. You really come here knowing just a little bit of JavaScript, a little bit of technologies. On the end, you really work here, you can really work here. I think it's really cool.
So you graduated from Startup Winter, was the version you went to in 2019. Can you tell us a little bit about what you knew before you came and maybe how it changed you as a developer?
Yeah, I came here just what I knew is a few months of learning JavaScript and a little bit of experience in HTML, CSS, and all other technologies like this. I had some worries during the Startup Summer. For example, I asked my friend who already worked here, will I know enough on the end? Will I be valuable on the market, and so on. And he said, even if Paralect won't make you an offer, you will be a really valuable person on the market because the technologies are relevant, because the knowledge that you got here is relevant, and it's really rich.
Cool. So Startup Summer really is designed to give people who come out of university just a little bit or a lot of extra experience to get them into the job market, to make them more valuable in the job market, and to get them into like agile product teams that they can actually work in.
Yeah, I think the main reason of it is here you work on the real project. It's not just sandbox, it's a real project with a real customer, and you solve real tasks. You have all the agile processes, you have stand-ups, you spend time the same as you would if you work here. The atmosphere here is very nice. And when I started working here, nothing changed, I think, but the main surprise for me was when I came to the Startup Summer. It was really exploding my mind.
After a year and a half or so of working on a team here at Paralect, last summer you helped to organize the Startup Summer program. What were some of the things that you thought would be important to improve upon from your experience when you decided to be lead mentor of last year's version of Startup Summer?
I think I'm the person who loves teaching other people. I like sharing my experience. I like to see how people say thank you for me when they gain some goals and so on. I was a little bit concerned, am I the person who can do it, and do I have a capacity to do it?
Yeah.
I was concerned, to be honest, but
in terms of your skills and experience, or in terms of just like time and the amount of work?
in terms of my let me say, you have to teach other people, you should have experience in teaching other people, I think. And all my previous experience was just telling my friends something and so on, and it differs from what you have at Startup Summer. Because you have around 12 people, and you have to explain difficult things in a simple manner. And I think you should be talented in it.
Everything that I heard from the graduates last year was very positive. The products themselves were awesome. We're going to have a blog post out soon highlighting what happened last year at Startup Summer and what they built and some of the student experiences. And we'll also have a lot of videos up on YouTube. Also on our YouTube channel, you can watch all of the old lectures from last year's Startup Summer. They're available in Russian, so you can catch those if you're really interested in the program. Last summer was a really challenging time here in Minsk for a variety of reasons. There was the COVID pandemic, there was the social political situation, the election happened. What was the biggest challenge for you guys in organizing Startup Summer around all of this chaos that was happening in the city?
Yeah, to be honest, it was we were afraid that we would have to cancel the Startup Summer because of the COVID. We also had an idea of making it online, but we very soon we saw that it would make no sense, because the main idea, as for me, of the Startup Summer is this atmosphere. And in online you wouldn't achieve it anyway. So it was either to make it or either to cancel
throw it away.
Yeah, but we decided that we can do it, we can achieve it, and we made all the things to make it safe.
Let's talk about the tech stack of Startup Summer then. How did you organize the presentations, the lectures, the homework, all of that stuff?
Happily, it was already the fifth Startup Summer, so we had experience from and feedback from previous Startup Summers, and we used a lot of things from previous Startup Summers. But of course we changed it a lot, because technologies are improving, technologies are rising, and some of them are not relevant already. We removed some of them, we added new ones, but the main stack was the same. Also, we used different technologies of no-codes last year with zero code. It was also a good experience, and as I saw this year, you already moved it on the new level. I saw the website where you can apply, and it looks nice, and as I understand, it's zero code.
Yeah, they made it in Webflow, I think.
Yeah, I know Igor very like it.
Yeah, Igor's. If you didn't catch our episode with Igor, that was episode 1. We talked a lot about different no-code tools that he really likes to use. And the new Startup Summer website is a great example of that. Check it out if you haven't yet. Let's talk a little bit about your other passion, which is relatively new, right? You're really into blockchain and cryptocurrency. What sort of captured your interest in this field of technology, and why do you like it?
I can't say I'm an expert in it. Of course, I'm just a beginner. I'm just learning, and I started to interest in it about a year ago. I don't know why so late, because it would be nice if I started it a few years ago and I bought some bitcoins, and now it would be so nice. But anyways, I started it about 1 year ago, and I was just a spectator. I was not participating in it, I was just watching. And then one moment I decided that maybe it's a good time to become a man who also have some bitcoins. I forgot about it, but I was speaking about it with Andrei Polyansky. Andrei, hello, if you watch it. And I was discussing it with him, and I saw that he's also interested in it. He also told me that there were some nights he didn't sleep. He just was monitoring in it all and reading all the information to understand how it works and so on. Right. And at some point he knew a lot more than me. Yeah. And at that moment already I came to him and asked some questions about it.
So he went all the way down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. So then I decided to understand how does it work under the hood, because it's strange if you buy something and don't even know how does it work. At one moment I decided that I know enough to share this experience, and one idea was that through this explanation to others I will understand it even more, even better. Because when you try to share your experience, people ask questions, and if you don't know the answers, you try to find it and you help each other. So if you didn't see, you can check it on the Paralect channel. It's a workshop about cryptocurrencies.
Yes. Check out the Paralect Workshop YouTube channel. Yes. It's there. If you're more interested in Bitcoin.
The first part is mostly a theory, and the second part is I'm showing the code with these things with blockchain. Also, I left some links for people who want to understand it even more.
So I'm curious, like, where do you really see blockchain and cryptocurrency products being useful and valuable for people right now and maybe in the future?
I really like the idea of the blockchain where you have decentralization and you don't need to trust someone. You just have the system and system works, and there is no reason to have someone to trust. I'm not really into the smart contracts, but I know the basics, and I really like that idea when you don't need any third party to trust. With time, people will trust the system more, and new participants will join this, new people will know about how it works, and maybe that's one more idea why I decided to share my experience. But now I'm trying to understand all the things with NFT tokens. Wow. And I use
MetaMask.
Yes, I use MetaMask. I used Mercurio to buy some cryptocurrency, but in Mercurio you're not an owner of your wallet. The system just allows you to use it. You don't know the seed phrase and so on. But in MetaMask, it differs.
What is it about NFTs that you really like? Because to me, they're kind of like strange.
Of course, it's strange. It's important to understand the idea of it. The same as we can sell the art in the real world, the same we can sell the art in digital world. And for me, the best explanation is like if you remember, we had cards in 19th and in 2000s. With cars or with football players and so on, and people collect them. And I know in America it's more important for people than in our countries, and people sell these cards for thousands of dollars, and you also don't understand it. But when you understand the basics of market terms, how the price can be evaluated and so on, then you can understand why these things can cost these numbers. Because if you have the person who can buy it and it's really unique, then why not?
So how do you think, from a technology perspective, we can make cryptocurrency easy enough that it becomes more widely accepted?
I think people should be really interested in it because it's not very hard to make the basic knowledge of how does it work. Even from my perspective, I just watched some videos on YouTube and I know the basics and how it works and how you can buy it, how you can buy things with it and so on. I also think that it should be developed good by government, but of course government wouldn't do it because they don't need it because they cannot control it.
How do you see this going forward? Do you think it will become easier to make products around cryptocurrency and blockchain, or do you think we will still have a lot of opposition from governments?
Sure, yes, but I don't know the amount of time we need to make it happen because it's future. I really believe that it's future, and at some point it will be shared across all the world. But I'm not the one who believes that cryptocurrencies are just a soap bubble that will explode. I really believe in it. But I don't know what is the amount of time we need for it, especially in our countries. I think that all governments are just afraid of it because, again, they cannot control it. But our governments, like in CIS and so on, they usually the progress comes to us a little bit later.
Are there any other things in tech that are really exciting you right now, other than cryptocurrency, blockchain, Startup Summer's happening? Are you going to join for a lesson? Are you going to teach something there?
Yeah.
Awesome. What lesson are you going to teach?
I don't want to make spoilers for now, but what I can say is I think I really hope I will be able to make 2 lessons.
Ah, cool. That's it.
Yes.
2 lessons from this guy. Well, thank you for joining the show. How was your beer, by the way?
It was nice.
Yeah?
It's not so good as alcoholic beer, but it's healthier.
Yeah, mine was very limey and full of vitamins. So, thank you for joining Ship It and Sip It, episode 3. And thank you for watching. Next time, I'm excited to talk to our head of design. We're going to break away from engineering and blockchain and project management topics, and we're going to talk about product design. I'm really excited to have her on the show. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Don't deploy on Fridays. Ship it and sip it.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Meet you at the Startup Summer.